people, and welcome back to part 37 of Beguzia, the city's Skylines build guide. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. The two time lapses before the start of today's episode were just covering some of the details that we have made on the new city's Skylines streams. If you feel free to come and jump into them and get involved. The first two have been really good. And it's been nice to talk to you guys and just kind of, get your kind of thoughts on how the city should be developing and get some of your ideas on the detailing as well. So don't forget to stop in for those. They are always uploaded to the channel. And they're a good kind of 1 to 2 to 3 hours long. So, stick them on a second monitor and play along with them and see what you can do to help detail your cities. But in today's episode, it is finally time for me to stop ignoring this. So we are over here, kind of in the suburban, kind of lower town, if that makes sense. I think this is Braitwaite Square. Beguzia Lake is right here as well. And this dumbbell interchange that serves kind of the University of Technology and the little farming village down here and kind of this wider Braithwaite town is not suitable for the amount of traffic that is coming through here. So what we're going to do today is actually go ahead and rebuild this into something called a Diverging Diamond Interchange, which is a really cool looking interchange. It will handle a lot more traffic. Now, there are definitely more efficient ways than a Diverging Diamond to handle this amount of cars. However, for the feel of this interchange, I do want it to be a little bit busy. And the reason for that is just because it brings it to life a little bit. We've got you've got people heading to the lake, over to the zoo over here, to parks and stadiums. Well, the baseball park even. It's not really a stadium, I guess. University and, a lot of industrial traffic coming out of the farmland. So, I'm just going to go ahead off camera and delete all of this. And then we'll come back in when we're ready to start building. Okay guys, so here we are. You can kind of see the outline of the roads left by the traffic that is on. And I'm going to leave the game on pause for the duration of this. Purely because it's going to actually help me kind of with my road placement and just kind of making sure that we're lining up with these two roads here when we're building it. So we need to do some terraforming first of all. I'm going to go ahead and grab my slope terrain tool and turn the strength down a touch. And we'll probably start from about here, I imagine. Let's kind of come through the middle. We do want a fairly wide gap here. It's not going to be super small. We probably will end up pulling the cliffs in a little bit when we tidy this up and do some detailing on it. But for right now, I do want a fairly substantial kind of gap for me to play with. Let's go ahead and soften these sides out where we connect back up to the highways, just so the slope isn't too crazy. Using our slope tool, that should be okay. Let's kind of get a nice little drag across there. Okay, that should be good to go. So let's go ahead and place in our first roads, and for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and use the 2-lane one-way road, no highways for just yet, and make sure that my snapping is on. Let's actually bring this highway just so it's level with that one. And don't forget, we need to keep making sure that we keep changing our directions throughout this build. And let's come down to this point here. So I'm perfectly in line with the highway. And I'm going to bring this guy up just so we have kind of this little basin right in the middle. Then I'm going to leave a 2-block gap in between the two roads. Oh, by the way, guys, sorry, I forgot to mention, this is an ImperialJedi Diverging Diamond build. Go ahead and check out his channel. I'll leave a link in the description below. Yeah, he doesn't upload too much these days. He's more of a streamer now on Twitch. But, still definitely worth checking out some of his stuff. Okay, so let's carry on up to the top of this ditch. And then we'll come to our freeform tool. And then just gradually curve these guys back together. And again, remembering to change the direction. Let's come all the way down here. And then these guys can just hook straight into the roads. Fantastic news. Let's get everyone facing the right way. Okay, so right now the highway just narrows into a regular two-lane road. And yeah, looks okay. So I'm going to come ahead now, and then I'm going to drop my elevation step down to the smallest one, which is 3 meters, and then grab my straight road tool. So now we're going to kind of plan the bridges that go straight across this part of town. So I'm thinking, so it's going to be 2 separate bridges. Previously this was just a 1 road, so I want to build slightly wider than that. Let's go for, let's have a little look where we're looking here. Yeah, I'd probably say here is a good spot. So I'm going to stick to that kind of 2 tile gap again with all these roads that are crossing over the middle. And let's go for there. I'm going to come up to 12, which is 4 increases on a 3-step elevation. And starting from 2 tiles away from the highway, we're going to come across and then drop in directly by 2 tiles. So you see there's 2 tiles right in here, and between the pillars and the highway. And then again, same again, I'm going to just draw the adjacent one. 2 tiles in between the bridges. Everyone is very, very happy. Okay, then I'm going to draw this across and meet back up with the land. And as we come to the land, which is pretty much the 10 marker position, we're just going to bring it back down to earth. And then just kind of draw out a little bit here, just for right now. Let's do the same thing here. Back down to earth. And then let's just hook up to there for the moment. And then the same on this side as well. So that's why we're kind of messing with some roads here. Thank you for everyone that stopped by the stream. It was really cool to kind of hang out and speak to you guys and see you getting involved with the series, and that was really cool. So thank you very much for that. Okay, and let's just kind of... we'll have a look at the directions at the end, because it is going to be a bit of a weird one. It's not how you would think the directions would flow. So now we have these 2 bridges in that cross straight across. Everything's nice and parallel, which is what we want to do. I'm actually going to go ahead and delete these roads that I just placed and then link the bridges up together as they touch the land, which might seem a little bit weird, but it will make sense. Then from this point I'm going to come out by a distance of 200, and then I'm trying my best to kind of get a little box in like that. So I'm just going to box these off by a distance of 200. So we'll have something that looks like that right now, which is kind of really weird. So I'm now going to come into the freeform tool again, still using the one-way road, and we're going to kind of hook up the slip lanes for this right now. So let's go ahead, and so this kind of bottom left point, or bottom right, depending which way you're looking at it, we're going to come onto this snap node here and come down to the bottom circle, and then I'm going to come out just 2 tiles short again on freeform tool, and then just curve it up and then hook up to the opposite node that we snapped onto. And then we're going to repeat that for every single side. So a bottom node, up to 2 nodes in, 2 tiles in, and then just swing it around, and then rinse and repeat on this side. So I'll have to delete a couple of our new suburbs. We have also hit the file milestone as well, by the way, which is very exciting. So we'll be talking about that in a couple of episodes' time. Again, let's just come out here. So right now you can see I'm snapping onto like a million different road guidelines. Place your node and then come down and turn road guidelines off if you have a lot of stuff built up around your area. And then come out to that 2 tile marker again. And then we are good to go. So everyone right now is hooked up and happy. We just clear a little bit of this out. And we'll have to kind of redo our detailing here a little bit. Okay, so we're looking like that now. It's pretty simple. And then we're going to come ahead and grab our medium road on the straight line. Now, as you kind of move this around, you'll notice that the game kind of snaps into a node point for you, which is what you want to happen. So what I'm going to do is come ahead and turn road guidelines on so we can see what we're talking about here. So we have these 2 road guidelines, this point and this point. So you want to kind of have the road in the middle of those. So I'm going to So right now, it's kind of free forming around. I can do whatever I want with it. But as we start to approach this road, the game will snap. Can you see that? And then it'll snap again, and that's the junction that we want to build out of. So we're going to have that looking a little something like that. It's not super symmetrical, but this roundabout probably will need to be tidied up at some point, I imagine, as well. Okay, so that is what we are currently working with, and again, let's do the same on this side. It's kind of, it's all freeform right now. Slowly move towards, and then it'll snap. Take the second snap point, and then hook it up to the road over there. Very nice. Okay, so back to my straight road, and then I'm going to turn everything back on. And then from these points here that we started, I'm just going to draw a straight road back to this point. It's going to be at a 45-degree angle. The road is going to be perfectly straight, which is what we want to happen. And then I'm just going to terraform this bit a tiny bit, just so we get a smoother incline. And then from this point again, drag it straight back to the highway. Again, all in straight lines. And then I'm just going to upgrade this. And then everything is going to be flowing. It's fantastic news for everyone. Again, same thing here. You know, your junctions are nice and level at the moment. And then we're going to come straight down. Let's actually terraform this cliff face here a little bit as well, just so it's not as severe. And then again, let's come down to this point and then straight up. So everyone is flowing in these good directions. Everyone is flowing down this one road, or flowing out of this road, for example. And then we're just going to kind of repeat the same thing here. Let's go ahead and grab this road. Let's move the railway out of the way with. Let's go ahead and hook it up to here. And again, straight back down to the highway. We're not slightly level there, are we? Let's it's just where the snap points are, unfortunately. But we can live with it. And then this is going to come up this hill. And again, one more time for good luck. Let's have a little tidy up with the smooth tool. And then all the way down. And hook it up into theirs, make sure it's one way. And then again, directions as we go. Everyone is flowing through. So you have something that looks pretty strange at the moment. It isn't kind of the most obvious build to start with. So now let's move back to our freeform tool and make sure all our snapping is on. And then we're going to kind of hook these bits up now. So I'm going to come out by 2 and then hook it in. And then same again. So we're just going to hook these roads up to the main one now as well. Out by 2. And then hook them up. Now we're going to delete this bit here that we placed. And the one in the middle, so we're left with this nice... it's kind of hard to describe that shape. Just that shape, almost like a long, soft, curved triangle is the shape I'm going to refer to that as. Okay, so right now, looking something like that. We've got some directional stuff, but we'll sort the directions out in a moment. Okay, so Diverging Diamonds switch their traffic flow onto the adjacent side of the road, which is a little weird and a little kind of strange. We might end up moving this roundabout back just because I'm not sure about these connections right close to the roundabout. That's not really ideal. It's not very realistic either, but we'll see how it flows before we change that. We'll also need to do this one as well. Okay, so let's just get everything flowing in the right direction first, and then we'll discuss traffic. So right now, if you're coming down this lane and you want to kind of, either get across, then it would make sense that you stay in this lane and flow over and then down onto that side of the road, or maybe take a highway exit. But that is not what's going to happen. We are going to switch the road types those road directions over to the adjacent side. So if I'm playing with right hand drive on, and right now my cars are coming down the left hand side. So whatever direction of traffic you're playing on, for this bridge in the middle and these two adjacent roads, switch it over. And then again, same thing here. Directions over there, and then we'll make sure that we're looking okay here. Our directions are flowing in the same way. So there you go. How about that? Also switch these ones in the middle as well, just so they're adjacent with these ones over here. Okay. And that's kind of it. That is, that's your base Diverging Diamond Interchange. So let's hit play, and I'm actually going to probably click. So let's just take kind of a mental image. You can see where all the traffic was backed up using the dumbbell. You've got the two big circles here, the lines in the middle, and then kind of everything else kind of tailing off from around it. I'm going to come into Traffic Manager, and then I'm going to hit clear my traffic. That's going to delete every car in the city. And then we're just going to hit play. And then we're going to see gradually a whole bunch of cars begin to trickle back in. I'll detail this in the time lapse towards the end of the episode and hook the tram lines back up alongside the paths as well. And we'll put some nice trees in around here. And then let's just kind of take a little bird's eye view. Let's get the whole diamond into the shot. And we'll begin to see, as cars flow through, how this thing works. There is actually something that we've forgotten to do. So at these points here, so kind of the first connection point, it's a little easier to show it here. So we have kind of two junctions here in very quick succession. The first junction, you want to go ahead and turn your traffic lights off. If you're on console, you can do this by coming into your info views, traffic routes, junctions, and then just hit this little traffic light sign. PC players using Traffic Manager, you can just open Traffic Manager and then turn the on and off switch light there. Now in this junction ahead of that one we just did, we do want traffic lights here, so come ahead into that one and then place those guys in. And let's hit play. And we'll begin to see, as cars begin to spawn in, how they are flowing. It's all looking quite nice. So let's go ahead and dive into a little bit of a detailed time lapse, and then we'll add some nice rocks and trees in around here and make it look a little more natural, so it fits in with the landscape. So we'll be right back.
You feel the same. You were at the back of her mind.
Okay guys, that is going to do it for today. Thank you very much for watching. We ended up changing a couple of little things here just because we don't have that much room to play with. Ideally you would have this in a big open space, but because we already have junctions here, I've just switched a couple of things around that you can check out in the outro tag. We've also upgraded the roads underneath back into 2-lane highway roads, just so traffic flows a little smoother. You can see what I mean by wanting to keep this thing looking busy. You know, sometimes a little bit of inefficiency adds a touch more realism and just makes it look that little bit nicer. Don't forget to hang out for some of the live streams sometimes. We're going to sort the roundabout out behind us in the live stream rather than do it in this one. Really wanted to kind of focus on the Diverging Diamond here. But anyway, I'll leave you alone. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for all the support recently. I'll see you in the next episode, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.